Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so welcome back to the first session of the final presentations of B-Sides 2024. I'll hand you over straight away to Nikos Vourdas.
Thank you very much. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nikos Vourdas. Welcome to local admin in less than 60 seconds. First of all, I want to thank the event about the invitation. This is my first time in Budapest, and I think your country is very beautiful. I think it's very similar to my country, Greece. Before the beginning, I need to say a special thanks to those two guys, my friends. As I said, my favorite Greek rapper, Bloody Hawk, said, my friends are my idols. And those guys there are my idols who inspired me to do these things. Okay, thank you. Before the beginning, let me to set a timer to be on time. Hey Siri, set timer for minutes. Okay. Okay. Who am I? I'm a senior offensive security consultant at EY Greece. I have experience in some threatlets like TiberEU or ICAST. How many of you do you know what is TiberEU or ICAST? Okay. It's adversary simulation in banking sector. I have a few certifications. I am proudly 1 month no smoker. I have write two tools, and these are my social media. Today, sorry, my AI is a little silly. Today I will present my favorite TTP. A big disclaimer here. I don't think you can use it, this TTP for adversary simulation or red teaming engagement, because I think it's not so stealthy as you think. I think it's a little noisy. So the life is not only red teaming and bypass detection and all of this stuff. The life is includes an internal penetration test. So I recommend to use this TTP in internal penetration test. I will present 4 methodologies about this TTP, which I use in my last engagement. So, have you ever seen this tweet on Twitter? Or this? Or this? Or a post like this? Or a gist like this? All of this talks about anti-LM relay attack from WebDAV protocol to LDAP. And this is one internal penetration test, I think, like a silver bullet. Okay. But before explaining this attack, let's see some prerequisites of this attack. Okay. First of all, we need LDAP signing not enforced. In my experience, 9 to 10 clients, 9 out of 10 clients has not configured this policy. And without this setting, you can't perform this attack. By default, LDAP signing is not enforced. And LDAP binding too. Furthermore, we need to know that we want to do an anti-LM relay attack from WebDAV to LDAP protocol, because LDAP is a powerful protocol. You can configure things, you can edit things, you can add things, you can do anything you want. The result of this attack will be facing two attacks: shadow credentials and resource-based constraint delegation. I'm sure that you already know both of them, but let me explain quickly what is shadow credentials and resource-based constraint delegation attack. The first one, we need to edit the value of this attribute with a public key, which we have already on the private key. And the second one, we need to configure this value of this attribute with a security descriptor of the own machine account. of our own machine account. So, how this attack actually works, because user objects cannot edit their own attributes such as MSDS key credentials leak, but computer objects are able to perform this action. So behind the scenes, the reason why this attack also works is because computer object can do the action for us. Why we don't use SMB and we want WebDAV protocol? SMB is a powerful protocol, but it uses NetNTLM v2 version 2 authentication. And as you can see, there are 3 messages during the authentication. For the last message, there is a security protection named message integrity code, which blocks to perform this action. NTLM relay attack from SMB to LDAP. But you can find a machine with this CV and parts of this CV. This CV gives you the ability to bypass this message integrity code. But honestly, I have never seen in 2024 a machine and parts with this vulnerability. But you never know. Hello, my oldest friend. WebDAV is a HTTP extension which you can perform some basic functionalities like a copy, move, create from using HTTP. This table shows us that WebDAV still exists in Windows 10 by default, Windows 11, Windows 2012 R2 servers, and Microsoft has removed from Windows 2016 server. So, if you have access in a Windows server like this, you will not find WebDAV. But if you open now your Windows 10 or 11 laptop, you will see that WebDAV exists with the name WebClient service. But WebDAV is disabled by default. And as you already know, in a regular condition, a low privilege user doesn't have the permission to enable and to start a service. Okay. So, unfortunately, we can't do something for this. So, guys, okay, we can't do something for this. Let's go back to Greece. Okay, let's go, guys. Okay, sit down. I think a low privilege user can enable the web client service, and if anyone has a different opinion, try to change my mind. Why I think this? Because I said you before one sec, a low privilege user in a regular condition doesn't have permission to enable to start a service. Well, this policy, I have never seen a client with this configured with this policy. This policy gives you the ability to use icon preferences. Sorry, I don't want to hide the photo. To use icon preferences in order to trigger the service. There are many file types which uses icon preferences like shortcuts, LNK files, set connector, library image, URL shortcuts. Or you can use programmatically with Windows 32 APIs. I think there is a project ETW trigger from Virus on GitHub in C#. So, if I use LNK shortcut, for example, I can enable the service. And now, I will show you a video. Okay. Okay. Here is I use Cobble Strike. It's a command and control for anyone who don't know this. I have access in Windows 10 workstation. And my user is Nikos Vourdas. It's a low privilege user. As you can see. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, sorry, I stopped it. And as you can see, the user is not in local admins group. So as you can see, and I don't have permissions to start and stop or resume or pause to do anything with the service. Okay. So go back. I will start a SOX proxy. I will create a reverse port forward. I will expose a random port, anything I want. Okay. Okay. Okay, I will go back to workstation and I will try to create a shortcut. A simple shortcut, nothing malicious. And now I will go to properties and I will try to use the reverse port forward port and a random share. Back, I have opened an in packet. Give me a minute here. I have opened an NTLM relay X, which forces, which targets LDAP from DC, shadow credentials and shadow target, the machine account of the workstation, and the port forward port 8081. You can use the same thing with the responder or a farmer, just like that. Okay. I will press OK. It will not find this, but behind. Come on. The attack it failed. Okay. Because, as I said before, user can't write their own attributes. And the attack seems to fail. It's good for us. Because when an attack fails, something other happens behind the scene. Going back to workstation and opening services. Just refresh. As you can see, the web client now is running. So, we have the service already enabled, and now we can perform the attack. Come on. So, let's try to repeat the attack and try to take over the workstation and compromise the local admin. First, we need to see who is the local admin. I will try to take this, I'll try to choose this local admin. You can choose any local admin you want. Going back and try to perform again. We have already enabled the service. Okay. We'll try to again. And in order, now we will use a coerce authentication like petit bottom, printer back, anything you want, in order to coerce authenticate the machines. And after that, we achieve to write MSDS key credentials link. And now the machine is vulnerable to shadow credentials. Now I can use this tool from PKI Init Tools DirtJams repository in order to use the encrypted PFX and exchange the PFX with the TGT of the machine. And then I can use this, as you can see on the video, I can use it to perform S for you to self-abuse, to ask a TGS for the local admin. Okay, let's do it to see in action. Okay, performing this using this tool, you will use the encrypted PFX file, and we created the TGT. Now we have the TGT of the machine. Okay. Alright, okay, nice. Use this, after that, we need, as I said, to perform S for you to self attack and specifying a specific SPN and to impersonate a specific user. As you can see, you have a TGS for this user. We can export this in Linux in order to work in Linux, and then you can use in packet or WMI exec or PS exec to connect as local admin. Okay? As you can see, I'm L. Kotlitsas in workstation 1. Very useful trick, but I have better tricks. Okay, trust me. In order to use the first methodology, you need to have a public infrastructure or ADCS implementation. If you don't have ADCS implementation, because I don't know the clients here, I have seen clients that doesn't have, I have seen clients still don't use ADCS. So what you can do, you can search for machine account quota. By default, any Active Directory user has this permission to create until 10 machine accounts. So instead of using shadow target and shadow credentials, you can use delegate access, and you can perform resource-based constraint delegation, create a machine account, then security description, and delegate this machine. And then as for you, abuse to continue. But, by the way, he's a legend Greek rapper, Taki-chan. And what Taki says, what is better than a local privilege escalation? A lateral movement with a local admin rights. Think about you are in an internal penetration test and you have VPN access. Okay, you don't have a workstation access. Okay, how many of you have done an internal penetration test and you had only a VPN access? Okay, so you need to use a scanner like modules of NetExec. If you are from Cobalt Strike, I said, okay, you don't have workstation admin, but you can use get web dev status. I created the CNA of this both. Or you can use this Python scanner from Hackando. Shout out to Hackando. I think Hackando learned me a lot about Windows and Active Directory. You should read his blog and try to find if already a machine has WebClient web dev service enabled. Why a machine should have this service enabled? Because another application can trigger it, or I have seen in my experience some Citrix servers to have this enabled. So if you want to perform this attack, by the way, against servers, you need to know, except from WebDAV enabled, the server should have user experience dashboard enabled. I have never seen, honestly, a server without this feature, user experience desktop, but you never know. From VPN access, you need to know another one thing, because if you have a beacon or malware, a C2 connection, everything with SOX proxy and reverse port forward works fine. But when you have a VPN access, you need to add a DNS record. How many of you do you know that any authenticated user in an Active Directory can add a record inside? No? Ah, okay. Well, this is true. Any authenticated user can add a record. So you can use DirtJams, this amazing tool, which is the part of Kerberal-X repository. With the first command, as you can see, we add a record named attacker, okay, which points to our IP. And with the second command, we just verify that everything works fine. If you don't use this to inject a DNS record, probably via VPN, the attack will not work so easily. So, and the methodology for is, what if I'm in a VPN connection during an internal penetration test, and I can't find any machine on server with a WebDAV enabled. So I tried everything, and I can't find something very helpful. So what can I do? A good option is go back to Greece with my friends. A second option is to think not harder, smarter, I think. How many of you do you have clients which still have legacy implementations and, for example, uses SMB version 1? Come on, guys, I'm sure that you have clients, for sure, they have some machine which uses SMB version 1, for sure. SMB version 1 would be an opportunity for us. And I will explain you why. What is, how many, okay, let me express the question correct. What is wrong with this picture? With this command? I perform a command with netexec. I use a module NTLM v1. Okay. It says that SMB version 1 is true. Okay. But I think SMB version 1 and NTLM version 1 is something different. Doesn't mean that when SMB version 1 is enabled, is NetNTLM version 1 enabled. As I said, SMB version 1 is not enough. In order to have NTLM version 1, you need to have configured one of these options. And netexec is not the best way to check this. You need open a responder, perform a petit bottom as before, and use --lm to try to downgrade NetNTLM version 2 to NTLM version 1. If this happens, then you can relay from SMB to LDAP. Do you know why in this situation you can relay from SMB to LDAP? Because SMB NTLM version 1 doesn't have message integrity code. So, one minute. As I said, I will add this. I will use remove mic because without this option, Inbucket doesn't understand that I want to relay from SMB to LDAP, but I use SMB. SMB has NetNTLM version 1. And back, I will try. This time, give me a minute to go back the video. Come on. Okay. I will try to perform petit bottom by using SMB. The main difference using something that I forgot is when in the previous example with WebDAV, when you use petit bottom or printer back and you want to use a WebDAV, you need to add endpoint to understand a port and endpoint after the host names to understand the tool that you don't use SMB but WebDAV. And as you can see, the attack worked, and after that I can perform the same steps. So, okay. There are a lot of detect event IDs. As I said before, it's not stealthy approach. I use it one time in a red team. It worked, but I don't recommend to use it when you want to be stealthy. There are a lot of event IDs for Kerberos service generation, for TGT's request, for MSDS key credentials link modification. So if you are from a blue side, you need to focus on this event. Okay. I think we finished the presentation very quick, but it was local admin in less than 60 seconds. Thank you. You have any questions?
Do we have questions for Nikos? Or comments?
I hope you like it and didn't disappoint you. And I hope to use it in your next engagements. I think it's like a silver bullet. With my partner in crime, we have done many times when nothing didn't work. So we tried this and always work. One thing, in order to don't, a good question is, okay, you are a local admin. Okay, probably you can impersonate a domain admin. Can you change the password of the domain admin or the local admin if it's in a domain context? The answer is no, because this ticket is delegated. It's only for the context of this machine. But you can use it to dump hashes. You can perform any action that any local admin can do, but not to change password of the local admin in a domain context. Okay.
If there isn't anything else, thank you again to Nikos.
Thank you very much.